Amid Donald Trump's penalty for business with Russia, US-Moscow trade ties explained US President Donald Trump on Thursday imposed a 25% tariff on India as part of a sweeping trade action targeting nearly 70 countries, according to an executive order released by the White House. On social media platform Truth Social, Trump criticized India over its trade policies and close ties with Russia. Declaring that the US had a massive trade deficit with India, Trump said India is our friend, but we have done relatively little business with them because their tariffs are far too high, among the highest in the world, and they have the most strenuous and obnoxious non-monetary trade barriers of any country. He also attacked India for buying Russian military equipment and energy, saying they have always bought a vast majority of their military equipment from Russia and are Russia's largest buyer of energy, along with China, at a time when everyone wants Russia to stop the killing in Ukraine. All things not good. India will therefore be paying a tariff of 25 plus a penalty for the above, starting on August 1 mega, even as Trump imposes the penalty for business with Russia. How much trade does the US do with Moscow? Russia over the years has been selling crude oil to India at a discount, which has resulted in New Delhi saving billions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio slammed India, saying that New Delhi buying oil from Moscow was funding its Ukraine war. Rubio's remarks came after Trump earlier took to social media to slam India and Russia, saying they can take their dead economies down together. I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their dead economies down together, for all I care. We have done very little business with India, their tariffs are too high, among the highest in the world. Likewise, Russia and the USA do almost no business together. Let's keep it that way, Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform. Trump added that India has always bought a vast majority of their military equipment from Russia. They are Russia's largest buyer of energy, along with China, at a time when everyone wants Russia to stop the killing in Ukraine, he added. And on the decline in 2024, the total value of U.S. Russia goods trade was estimated at $3.5 billion, according to the Office of the United States Trade Representative USTR. This marked a significant decline from 2023, largely due to heightened sanctions and ongoing geopolitical tensions. U.S. goods exports to Russia fell by 12.3%, totaling $526.1 million. A decrease of approximately $73.5 million compared to the previous year. U.S. imports from Russia dropped even more sharply, down 34.2% to $3.0 billion, a fall of around $1.6 billion. As a result, the U.S. trade deficit with Russia decreased by 37.5%, amounting to $2.5 billion, which was $1.5 billion less than the deficit in 2023. The decline in U.S. Russia trade has been consistent since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. In 2023, the U.S. exported around $599 million worth of goods to Russia and imported $4.57 billion, resulting in a $3.97 billion trade deficit. In 2024, this deficit narrowed significantly due to falling imports. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau also shows that by the first 5 months of 2025, total U.S. imports from Russia were down to $2.1 billion, while exports stood at $232 million. On a sectoral level, U.S. exports to Russia in 2024 were minimal and highly fragmented. The top categories included printed books, live animals, fruits and nuts, aircraft parts, ceramic goods, and dairy products. Most of these were valued under $200,000 per category, reflecting the impact of sanctions and export restrictions. U.S. companies are largely unable to engage in significant trade with Russia in areas such as high-tech, energy, defense-related goods, and dual-use technologies. But not fully shut. However, despite sanctions, the U.S. continues to import some strategic materials from Russia. These include enriched uranium valued at about $596 million in early 2025 and palladium around $502 million, both of which are essential for nuclear power and catalytic converters, respectively. These items are exempt from full sanctions due to a lack of alternative global suppliers and national security considerations. And according to the United States Trade Representative, U.S. total goods trade with Russia were an estimated $3.5 billion in 2024. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, between January and May 2025, U.S. exports to Russia totaled approximately $231.7 million, while imports from Russia reached $2.091 billion, resulting in a goods trade deficit of $1.859 billion during the period. These figures represent monthly trade such as January's 34.9 million exports against 196.2 million imports, and May's roughly 51.4 million exports versus 539.6 million imports. Watch Delhi Maya spokesperson Randir Jaiswal says, "Our ties with any country stand on their merit and should not be seen from the prism of a third country. As far as India-Russia relations are concerned, we have a steady and time-tested partnership." pic.twitter.com FBN67LNK46 Ani August 1, 2025 Nanan swipe left for next video. India and the US have been engaged in negotiations on concluding a fair, balanced and mutually beneficial bilateral trade agreement over the last few months. We remain committed to that objective. The government attaches the utmost importance to protecting and promoting the welfare of our farmers, entrepreneurs, and MSMEs, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry said in a statement. The government will take all steps necessary to secure our national interest, as has been the case with other trade agreements including the latest Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement with the UK, the government said. With inputs from agencies' latest blogs.